Have you ever felt like you were pulled in two different directions? Like your mind just races from one thought to another, and at the same time you crave stability. Just something solid.
It's a fascinating paradox, isn't it?
It really is.
And what if we told you that this duality could actually be reflected in the cosmos itself?
I love that. Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going on a journey into the stars to explore the fascinating world of a Gemini Sun woman with Taurus Rising as she navigates the year 2025.
A journey indeed. And our mission today is to illuminate the really unique interplay between intellectual curiosity and that practicality that you're known for.
Exactly. We really want to give you, the listener, some profound insights into all the opportunities and maybe some of the challenges that this coming year holds for you, especially if you identify with this particular celestial pairing.
Because when we look at the stars, it's like reading a cosmic roadmap, isn't it?
It is. We've actually gathered insights from a bunch of astrological interpretations just to understand what it really means to have your sun in Gemini, your inner self, and that outer expression shaped by Taurus. And of course, we can't forget about the planetary movements of 2025. We'll dive into how those are going to influence this really cool blend of energies in your life. But first, let's unpack this, starting with understanding the core of who you are.
Absolutely. So let's start with that radiant core of your being, that inner spark, which is illuminated by the sun in Gemini. So if you were born between May 21st and June 20th, roughly, your sun resides in Gemini.
Okay.
And this signifies a natural enthusiasm and an inner brilliance. It just shines through everything you do.
It's so true, and there's this like insatiable curiosity. You're so thirsty for knowledge, always wanting to learn new things. It's like you can just talk about anything, right? You're a natural conversationalist.
Absolutely. You have this amazing ability to gather and share information. It's like you're a connector. You bring people together.
And isn't it fueled by Mercury, that swift messenger, the ruler of communication? It's that inner drive to express yourself, to engage with others on an intellectual level. I feel like that's a huge part of understanding the Gemini sun, wouldn't you say?
Yes, completely. And it's so fascinating because in today's world, communication is so important.
It's everything.
And you just have this natural gift for it.
And we often hear that as a Gemini sun, you just thrive on variety. You need that intellectual stimulation. Like it's almost as if you're juggling all these different interests and ideas at the same time. Does that resonate?
It does. Astrologers always talk about this trait. You need to have several projects going at once, keeping that lively mind engaged. Otherwise, you get bored.
Right, and then there's that adaptability, the ability to just go with the flow, embrace change. You know, as a mutable air sign, you're flexible. It's easy for you to adjust to different situations.
Exactly. You're resilient. Like a chameleon, you can adapt. This comes from Gemini being a bridge between spring and summer. It's that transitional energy.
I love that. It makes me think of the social butterfly, flitting from one thing to the next.
Yeah.
That enjoyment of meeting new people, diving into different subjects. Does that ring true?
It does. You're a natural networker, engaging in conversations, effortlessly charming everyone around you.
But we have to talk about the symbol of the twins, right? That duality can sometimes lead to the perception that Geminis are indecisive or even, two-faced. How do you see that playing out?
That's an important point. The duality of the twins speaks to the multifaceted nature of Gemini. You can see things from multiple perspectives, but sometimes it can be a struggle to make decisions.
Right. It's like having two sides to the story, which can be both a blessing and a curse, right?
That is.
And then there's that need for variety. It sounds like it's almost a necessity for a Gemini to keep that mind active, to prevent boredom.
It's essential for your well-being. You need a continuous stream of new experiences, new ideas to feel content.
Okay, so that paints a pretty vibrant picture of the inner Gemini sun. Now let's shift gears and talk about how Taurus rising shapes how you present yourself to the world.
Okay. Well, the Taurus rising sign is all about the ascendant, the point on the eastern horizon at the moment you were born. And this really shapes that first impression you make on others, how you present yourself. People often see you as someone who is calm, reliable, and stable.
It's so interesting because while the Gemini sun is like buzzing with all these thoughts and ideas, the Taurus rising offers that sense of security to others.
Exactly. It's like a solid foundation, perfectly complementing the airy and energetic Gemini. You come across as trustworthy, someone who is grounded and reliable.
And there's also that Taurus love for aesthetics, comfort, that appreciation for the finer things in life. You like things to be beautiful and well-made.
Absolutely. With Venus as your ruling planet, you have a natural charm and a love for beauty in all its forms. You have a sense for quality. You want to be comfortable.
It's that connection to the tangible world, right? I've heard Taurus is very connected to the earth, to nature.
It's true. You find joy in the simple things and sensory experiences. You're drawn to nature, to things that ground you.
And we can't forget about that famous Taurus determination and patience. It must give you such a strong sense of resilience when you're pursuing your goals.
Absolutely. Taurus rising brings unwavering determination and incredible patience. You're able to pursue your goals with commitment, and you don't give up easily.
But, like we talked about with Gemini, there are two sides to every coin. That Taurus fixed nature, could that also manifest as stubbornness, like a resistance to change?
It's a valid point. Sometimes that determination can turn into stubbornness. It's important to be aware of this so that you can stay open to new possibilities.
Okay, so we have this lively, curious Gemini Sun on the inside, and this grounded, stable Taurus rising shaping how you interact with the world. How do these two seemingly opposite energies coexist within you?
The interplay between those two, the airy Gemini Sun and the earthy Taurus rising, is what makes you so unique. It's this beautiful dance of seemingly opposite forces, but they can really harmonize to create a well-rounded individual.
I can see that. On one hand, you have the quick-witted Gemini who's always looking for something new, and then you have the Taurus who loves routine and finds comfort in stability.
Exactly. And sometimes that can create some inner conflict. You might crave novelty, but at the same time need stability.
But there must be some awesome synergies as well.
Yeah.
How do these two sides of you work together in a positive way?
Well, think about it. You have this natural gift for communication as a Gemini, right? And then you have that artistic, sensual side from your Taurus rising. You could use your communication skills to express yourself creatively, maybe through art or music.
Right, like channeling that Gemini energy into something tangible.
Exactly. And on the flip side, that Taurus groundedness can help you focus all those brilliant Gemini ideas, preventing you from getting too scattered.
So it's like a beautiful partnership. But what about the areas where these energies might clash? Where could there be some friction?
One potential area is the difference in how you approach life. Your Gemini Sun is very intellectual. You love abstract concepts and debates. But your Taurus rising is more practical, sensory. You crave those real-world experiences.
So it's almost like your head is in the clouds while your feet are firmly planted on the ground.
You could say that.
How do you balance those two?
By recognizing them. Once you understand where the potential conflicts might arise, you can start to integrate these energies more consciously. Use that Gemini adaptability to embrace the Taurus need for stability.
I see. And can the Taurus rising learn to be a bit more flexible? Maybe embrace some of that Gemini openness to new experiences?
Definitely. The Taurus steadiness provides a safe base from which the Gemini can explore. It's all about finding that balance between intellectual stimulation and the desire for comfort, that sensory pleasure. That's the key to inner harmony.
Now, I've heard that astrologically speaking, Gemini and Taurus can sometimes be a challenging combination. What are your thoughts on that?
It's true that some traditional astrology might point to potential challenges, the different paces, the different priorities.
Right.
But astrology is not about boxes. It's about understanding the energies within us. You can totally use your Gemini's analytical mind to complement the Taurus's stable, warm nature. You can be both intellectually stimulating and emotionally grounded. It's all about awareness.
So to summarize for our listeners, let's compare and contrast.
Right.
You have that quick-witted, talkative Gemini Sun, and the Taurus rising with those expressive eyes and that more measured way of speaking.
Okay.
See, there's a difference in pace, but there's also a synergy when it comes to expressing artistic ideas. And when it comes to stability, the Gemini's adaptability clashes with the Taurus's love for routine. And socially, it's like the Gemini wants to flit around like a social butterfly, while the Taurus prefers those deeper, more meaningful connections. And then decision-making. The Gemini might overthink things, while the Taurus is more methodical, takes their time.
True.
And finally, in how you experience the world, you have that Gemini intellectual curiosity meeting the Taurus's sensual appreciation. Really fascinating how these two energies play out within you. But let's move on to the cosmic currents of 2025 and see how they specifically affect these energies in your life?
Absolutely. So for you, Gemini Sun, Jupiter is going to be transiting through Gemini until June.
Okay.
And this is huge. It brings so many opportunities for growth, for expanding your horizons, for trying new things. It's time to step out of your comfort zone.
I love that.
And for you, with your Taurus rising, this expansive energy might actually manifest as you building something tangible, maybe launching that business idea you've been thinking about, or finally diving into that new area of study that's always fascinated you.
Wow, that's a really exciting period for exploration, for new beginnings, and it's all grounded by that Taurus practicality.
Yes. And then later in the year, from July to November, we have Uranus entering Gemini,
Ooh, Uranus.
which can bring some unexpected changes. You might feel a strong desire for freedom, for expressing your individuality. It could lead to a reevaluation of who you are and what you want. Don't be surprised if you find yourself drawn to unconventional paths.
That's so Gemini, right? Embracing the unexpected.
Exactly. And this could even manifest in your career. Maybe there's a sudden opportunity to do something completely different, something that truly lights you up intellectually.
Even if it's a little bit outside that Taurus comfort zone.
Yes, exactly. But remember, you have that groundedness to help you navigate those changes. And when we talk about change, Uranus is all about shaking things up.
Right. It's the planet of the unexpected. So it might challenge the Taurus need for predictability. What advice would you give for navigating that energy?
Stay open, embrace the shifts, and remember your Taurus values. What truly brings you security? Hold on to that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the Gemini Sun. Now what about Taurus Rising? What key planetary movements should we be aware of for 2025?
Saturn is moving through Pisces and then into Aries throughout the year.
Okay.
And this could definitely impact your career and even your social connections.
Interesting.
You might find yourself with more responsibilities at work, or maybe you're reevaluating your friendships, who you spend your time with. Saturn is all about maturity, responsibility. It's about building structures that last.
So with Taurus Rising, you might be solidifying things in your career and your personal life. What else?
Well, after June, Jupiter moves into Cancer,
Okay.
and this could influence your finances, your sense of values. You might see some financial growth, but you might also feel a pull towards home and family. Creating a secure and comfortable environment becomes a priority.
It's fascinating how the first half of the year is about expansion, thanks to Jupiter and Gemini, and then the focus shifts to more grounded matters with Jupiter and Cancer.
It's all about balance, isn't it? You need both. And there's another important transit. Venus, your ruling planet, goes retrograde in Aries and Pisces from March to April.
Venus retrograde. I feel like that always brings up relationships and values. How does this specifically affect a Taurus rising?
Well, it's a time to really look at your relationships. Are they serving you? What are your values? What brings you pleasure? Use this time to get clear on what you want, what you truly desire. It can lead to deeper and more fulfilling connections.
So much introspection. So looking at 2025 as a whole, it seems like a year of some pretty big changes for both the Gemini Sun and the Taurus Rising.
Definitely. It's a dynamic year for sure. Lots of opportunities for personal growth, some potential shifts in your career and social life, and a deep dive into your values and relationships. It's a year where you'll need to be adaptable, but also remember to stay grounded.
I love that. Now, to deepen our understanding even further, let's talk about the ancient wisdom associated with Gemini and Taurus. I think exploring these feminine archetypes can offer some really valuable insights.
It can. So the Gemini archetype is often associated with the messenger. Think about intellect, communication, versatility. Think about figures like the goddess Iris, who delivered messages for the gods, or Minerva, the goddess of wisdom and strategy.
I see the connection.
It's about being quick-witted, adaptable, curious.
And what about the Taurus archetype? What kind of energy does that embody?
Taurus is connected to the goddesses of fertility, beauty, and abundance. Think about Aphrodite or Venus, her Roman counterpart. These are the goddesses of sensuality, of nurturing, of connection to the earth, of creating beauty.
I feel like that's a beautiful contrast. Gemini is all about the mind, the exchange of ideas, and Taurus is about grounding, appreciating the physical world, and cultivating beauty.
Yeah.
How do you see these two archetypes working together within someone who has both these energies?
It's about finding a balance. And it's interesting, in Chinese astrology, the sign of the horse is often seen as similar to Gemini.
Oh,
It emphasizes that same mental energy, that curiosity. So for you as a Gemini sun, you can really connect with that inner messenger, speak your truth, share your wisdom. And as a Taurus rising, you can embrace that inner goddess of abundance, cultivate self-worth, and appreciate all the beauty that life has to offer.
I love that. It's about integrating those two sides, the intellectual
Hmm.
and the sensual. As we look specifically at 2025, what practical guidance would you offer to a Gemini Sun woman with Taurus Rising to help her navigate these cosmic currents?
In relationships, it's crucial to be mindful of the differences in needs. You, as a Gemini, crave intellectual stimulation, interesting conversations, but your Taurus rising needs that emotional security, that physical touch. Make sure you're getting both. Plan exciting dates that challenge you mentally, but also prioritize those cozy nights in where you can just relax and connect on a deeper level.
It's about finding that balance, right,
Mhm.
between mental and emotional connection.
Absolutely. Now, in your career, use your Gemini communication skills and adaptability to your advantage. Find something that challenges you intellectually, but also offers that Taurus stability.
Like a job that's both stimulating and secure.
Exactly. Use that Taurus grounding energy to focus those Gemini ideas. Now, when it comes to personal growth, embrace both intellectual and practical pursuits.
Okay.
Feed that Gemini curiosity by learning new things, exploring new ideas, but also incorporate some grounding routines into your life, something that brings you comfort and stability. Maybe try a meditation practice or spend some time in nature.
It's about nurturing both the mind and the body. What about overall well-being? What should we focus on in 2025?
Pay attention to your energy levels. You, as a Gemini, can be prone to nervous energy, overthinking.
Right.
So balance that with activities that ground you, that bring you sensual pleasure. Maybe try yoga or just spending time in nature, listening to music. Anything that helps you relax and reconnect with your body. So essential, taking care of yourself holistically. So to wrap up, 2025 is a really special year for the Gemini Sun woman with Taurus rising.
It is. It's a year of embracing both your intellect and your sensuality, your adaptability, and your steadfastness.
It's like this beautiful cosmic dance.
It is.
And the key is to find that harmony between the two, to use those energies to your advantage.
Exactly.
So as you move through this year, think about how you can weave together that innate curiosity and your need for connection to the physical world. How can you create a journey that is both fulfilling and grounded?
And if you're looking for even more personalized insights into your unique astrological blueprint and how the stars are influencing you in 2025, we invite you to check out our ASTRALX recorded audio readings. You can find more information and purchase links in the description below.
And until our next illumination, may your path be filled with cosmic clarity, empowering discoveries, and the beautiful blending of your inner brilliance with your earthly grace.